The Phillies lost a tough one last night, 1-0 to the Astros. Starting pitcher Ranger Suarez pitched an awesome game, made one mistake on his basically 100th pitch, and that one mistake was a solo home run that ended up being the only run scored on the entire day. But the good news is the Phillies have a great opportunity to bounce back with a win tonight. Zach Wheeler is on the mound for the Phillies. He's obviously awesome. And the Astros are starting Colton Gordon on the mound, who I do think the Phillies should be able to have some success against. So, confident that the Phillies are going to bounce back. I'm also confident that we are going to bounce back. Granted, it wasn't a terrible day that we had yesterday. We were able to cash out Ranger Suarez over his 4.5 strikeout prop. That was simply way too low of a line. I'm glad that we were able to take advantage and cash that one. And then Cam Smith, 2+ total bases, did not come through. He had one hit, but it was not a double, so did not get the 2 bases. Did strike out, which I was expecting that, but did not get the 2 bases. But hey, based on how the odds shook out and all that stuff, hopefully you put a little bit more on the Rangers prop because that one came through. And I'm very confident in what we have for tonight. So just make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. All that stuff would definitely help us out a ton. And then make sure to go to BetMGM and use promo code CROSSING to get started. And let's get into today's play. So Colton Gordon, I mentioned, he is pitching for the Astros. He is absolutely a home run pitcher. So we went away from the home run market yesterday. We're going right back to it today, starting with Nick Castellanos. We're taking him to hit a home run. You can get this at BetMGM at plus 375 odds. So I want to talk about Gordon for a little bit here because I mentioned he's really who we are targeting the Phillies to have success against. On the year, Gordon has allowed a home run every 18.5 at-bats. As long as that number is below 20, that is the sign of a bad pitcher. But it gets even worse against right-handed batters specifically. That home run per 9 goes down to about 16.86 is the exact number, basically every 17 at-bats. So against righties, he's worse. And you look at his numbers across the board against right-handed hitters, 7.63% barrel rate, 41% hard hit rate, and a line drive rate and plus fly ball rate, and this is really the worst one, line drive plus fly ball rate, over 60%. So he's allowing batters to barrel the ball up and to hit the ball hard at a slightly below average rate, but put the ball consistently in the air. And that is not what you're looking for from a starting pitching perspective. Now, the Phillies, their biggest issue really as a team, at least from a hitter perspective, they don't really have any righties that hit lefties hard. I mean, the Phillies' 2 best hitters against left-handed pitching are left-handed bats in Bryce Harper, who's obviously not playing tonight, and Kyle Schwarber. But Castellanos has really been on a roll for basically the last month, and that has included specifically against left-handed pitching as well. You look at him over the last week, last 14 days, he leads the Phillies with barrels. He's got 7 barrels over the last 14 days, which is really good. You actually look at him, really his hot streak started on June 9th, 6-9, happy Nick Castellanos 6-9 day. I'm sure he celebrates that. But since then, he's been hitting the ball very well. And then against lefties specifically, you look at the last 30 days, so a little bit of a bigger sample size here, barrel rate of 16.7%. Against left-handed pitching. That's a pretty solid number. Now, the biggest issue for Colton Gordon is his four-seam fastball. On the year, righties have hit for an ISO rate of 429. That's really bad. And a hard hit rate of just below 60% at 57.7%. That is also very, very bad. Now, sometimes the best pitchers who throw a lot of fastballs will have bad numbers like this because they strike out a lot of batters. That's not the case with Colton Gordon. His called strike plus whiff rate is 18.6%. That is very, very low. And then you look at Castellanos against the four-seam fastball from a left-handed pitcher on the entire season, a very healthy a very healthy hard hit rate of 66.7%. So 2/3 of the time he makes contact with the baseball, it's hit hard, and a barrel rate of 14.8%. Above 10%, that's pretty good. Again, that's from a four-seamer from a left-handed pitcher. And then you look at the last month, which is admittedly a smaller sample size, 25% barrel rate against a four-seam fastball from a left-handed pitcher over the last 30 days. A lot of qualifications there, but all those numbers look really good. You know, Castellanos had 2 hits above 100 miles an hour yesterday, and against a much, much better pitcher in Framber Valdez. So hopefully he can hit the ball hard once again tonight while also putting it in the air, sending one over the fence. That's our first play. Next up, our second and final home run prediction for today. JT Realmuto, we're taking him to hit a home run, plus 425 odds at BetMGM. Now, JT is not having a good year at the plate. That's an understatement. He's got his lowest ISO rate since his rookie year. But I do think that he's got a good opportunity to hit a home run tonight. And all we're looking for is JT to clear a fence tonight. This is not me telling you I think he's going to go on a hot streak. This is not me telling you, actually, he's been way better than his numbers indicate. No, I just think he's got a good opportunity tonight. He had 3 hard hits yesterday, one of a couple batters on the Phillies with 3. And then similar to Nick Castellanos, 2 of those hits were above 100 miles an hour. Now, Framber Valdez, who was on the mound yesterday, is a ground ball pitcher, so those weren't sent in the air. But as long as you're hitting the ball above 100 miles an hour, that's generally what we're looking for here. And then he also added another 2 hard hits back on June 22nd. So, I'm not sitting here saying that he's like Shohei Ohtani at the plate or anything like that. But, small sample size of his last 3 games or so have been decent. But that's not why we're betting him. The biggest reason why we are rolling with him tonight is he also hits four-seam fastballs from lefties very well. This is on the entire year. The second best barrel rate on the team against a four-seam fastball from a lefty at 21.4%. That's a very good number. And then his hard hit rate, not quite as good as Casty, but his barrel rate is higher with a hard hit rate of 57%, which is still a very, very good number. The ground ball rate, which has been an issue for Realmuto this year, 28.6%. That's super low. So the good sign that he can hit the four-seamers from lefties hard and he can put them in the air. And then you look at just against left-handed pitching in general, I mentioned the Phillies don't have really any right-handed hitters that hit lefties well. JT is one of only 2 batters on the Phillies that has a barrel rate above 10% against lefties on the entire season, which 10% is kind of the floor. If you're above 10%, then that's okay. Now, Schwarber is the one batter above him, but, Schwarber against the lefty, Schwarber's not super hot at the plate recently, and we're not getting great odds, which is why I didn't go with Schwarber, which means he'll probably hit one. But, JT, barrel rate above 10%, solid, unspectacular. But for tonight, in this pitching matchup, I do think he's got a great opportunity to hit a home run. And that rounds out our second and final play of the video. Again, make sure to go to BetMGM and use promo code CROSSING to get started. Nick Castellanos to hit a home run, at JT Realmuto to hit a home run, and let's add a Phillies victory in there as well. That would be nice. That's all we got. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, go to BetMGM, promo code CROSSING. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.